Vita discovered something bizarre on the plane. The cabin that should have been packed with passengers was now occupied by just her and her daughter. It wasn't until she spotted the coffin being loaded outside that Vita finally felt some relief.
You just sleep, honey.
However, what Vita didn't know was that the real horror was just beginning. After what seemed like hours, Vita woke from her sleep. When she looked to her side, her daughter was gone. At first, Vita wasn't too worried. She simply assumed her daughter had gone to the bathroom on her own. But there was no sign of her daughter in the lavatory. A wave of intense unease washed over Vita. Thinking her daughter might have returned to their seats, she immediately headed back. Still no daughter.
I didn't even know you had a kid with you. Did you, honey?
Sorry, I didn't.
When she heard such a bizarre claim from a passenger, Vita instantly knew something was wrong. Though she wasn't sure what had happened to her daughter, Vita could sense that something was definitely off about this flight. Sensing trouble, Vita immediately found a flight attendant. The response she got made her eyes widen in disbelief.
We don't have any record of your daughter ever having been on board.
Hearing this, Vita couldn't believe it. She had clearly boarded the plane with her daughter. How could there be no boarding record? To prove she was telling the truth, Vita quickly reached for her daughter's boarding pass. But when she put her hand in her pocket, she found only her own ticket. Vita didn't want to waste time explaining. She rushed straight toward the cockpit. After hearing Vita's story, the captain found it incredible. He asked if Vita had been drinking before boarding or had taken any psychiatric medication. At this point, Vita felt somewhat guilty. She explained that she had indeed been taking psychiatric medication recently, but only because her husband had just passed away. She'd started the medication on her doctor's recommendation, and the dosage wasn't nearly enough to cause hallucinations. The captain also sent a verification request to the hospital on the ground. The results came back as expected. The hospital quickly confirmed the death of her husband. But what was unexpected was that the death certificate didn't just list her husband. It also included her 6-year-old daughter. Hearing this, Vita's mind went blank. She couldn't believe what the captain was saying and firmly insisted her daughter must be in danger. Though the captain felt deeply sympathetic for the safety of the passengers, he could only ask her to return to her seat. Despite the facts staring her in the face, Vita still refused to believe the captain's words. She continued to insist her daughter must be somewhere in the cabin. Just then, as Vita woke up again, the captain had found a psychiatrist for her, hoping it might help with her condition. But the moment she turned her head, she saw a heart shape reflected in the window. At that moment, Vita realized her daughter wasn't dead, and she was on this plane. But Vita didn't reveal her discovery, because she knew very well that there must be some dark secret behind all this.